Welcome everybody to the Game Cave. Welcome everybody once again to the Game Cave. I'm Jason and I'm here to review today Diehard Trilogy for the PlayStation 1. Today we're going to use it, we're not going to use the PlayStation 1 today or the PlayStation 2. Today I'm going to use the PlayStation 3 to play it. I seem to notice that it plays it a little better. We're going to fix some load times on it, so hopefully we get some quicker gameplay. Diehard Trilogy was interesting for me because as a kid, when this game came out, I happened to rent it, you know, at your local Blockbuster, like where they used to be, and it was actually a pretty fun game to play. All three movies are in this one game. You got Die Hard 1, you get to be a guy, overhead view, third person walking around inside the tower, trying to get to the top. And the second game has a first person shooter style where you are actually just have a cursor on the screen, moving around, shooting at things, and in the airport and everything, just like the movie in the second one. And then in the third one, you're actually it's like a driving type game where you're actually driving around and you're trying to get from point A to point B, or trying to stop packages from exploding, kind of just like in the movie where him and Samuel L. Jackson were flying around trying to stop things from blowing up. And once again, that's going to be Die Hard Trilogy for the PlayStation 1.
Okay, no. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Whoa, man!
Hey, just thought I'd come to the Game Cave, play a little PlayStation, have a few laughs. Come on.
Okay.
What's up, Jason?
How's it going?
I'm good, man. How are you doing? Long time, brother.
Nice to meet you, Josh. Thank you for coming, man. I appreciate it. You
Hey.
scared me there for a minute.
Anytime, man. Got the white beater on, got the gun, you know, a few quotes.
You are John McClane all the way.
Hey, I'm only doing what I can.
It just so happens.
I'm excited to play the game.
It just so happens we are playing Die Hard Trilogy.
We are.
Die Hard is playing Die Hard Trilogy. How awesome is that?
Hey, I'm excited.
Well, here it is, the actual original PlayStation logo when the PlayStation came on. With the PS3, it's a little different. But here's everything.
Oh, wow.
Fox
This takes
and
me back.
everything. Even got Pro doing everything here. It's going to take a while to load this up. Might end up cutting it out.
1996, man.
90,
Well, 90.
88, 90, 95, 96 when the game was put out.
Wow. And I remember in 95 is when I had my first PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was Christmas time, 95.
See,
I was a freshman in high school.
I actually had, I've had two PlayStations already because I had one as well, and mine was stolen. Someone broke into our house and took a few select items, and that was one of them.
Really?
Yeah, someone came in and took a car stereo CD player, and then somebody also took came in and took my PlayStation with a bunch of random games or whatever.
How long did you have your PlayStation before it was games?
It was probably like maybe a year or two at the most. It was when it first came out.
Yeah.
Well, not when it first came out, but like maybe like a few years. It was a few years into like.
Okay,
this
but it was about a year or two. Like
Oh,
you said.
yeah.
So you were married to this PlayStation, and they took it.
Oh, look, I was
Yeah.
happy having it or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, it started to.
So-
It actually started to dwindle in performance. So when they took it, I thought it was kind of funny. They're gonna get something that wasn't working very
Okay,
well.
so you're about to call it splits with this PlayStation.
A little bit.
Okay.
We did end up calling the cops and have them come over and stuff, but yeah, it did end up disappearing. So
Well, that stinks.
yeah, tell me about
Okay,
it.
so you get the limousine from
Yep.
the original movie.
Here we are. We got the original first movie, as you saw on the first scene. You could pick between all three of them. So this is the original one here. And here it is. You start off your overhead guy just like this. Your John McClane. Look at he's beater and everything. Just need the pants. Unfortunately, no pants today. And
I don't believe in pants.
No pants. And he doesn't have shoes on. He's got his feet wrapped up and everything just like how it is. And you got this little thing, and you can see when people are trying to aim for you. So you walk around, you shoot all the bad guys, or whatever. There's more bad guys than there ever was in the movie, of course.
Okay, but is he barefoot or are those wraps?
It's the wraps.
Okay.
Remember when he raps?
Right.
So we can shoot stuff, we can shoot guys.
But he actually starts in the movie in the hotel room with all the chaos starts because they're having the work party for his wife.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Yeah, he gets there and then isn't there like a new husband or a new boyfriend in the picture that's at the party?
I don't know if it's a.
Isn't it the one that sells them out or something?
Yeah, he's kind of like a business partner of the wife. He's affiliated with the company as well. They're like big rich business people, tycoon type of thing.
Yeah, what was the name of the tower? Isn't it the Yomagachi Tower or something like that?
I couldn't even tell you that part. You got
Nomagachi or something. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
But that character you're talking about, he probably had interest in her, but they were her and John McClane were still together. But their marriage was on the rocks. They were having a lot of problems. And actually, that story kind of goes into all three movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so where, especially in the third movie, which I'm probably jumping the gun here, but in the third movie, they're actually breaking the divorce.
Yeah. Because he's got the picture, doesn't he have like a photo with him?
Yeah, and at the very end of the movie, Sam Jackson actually tosses him a quarter to go to the payphone to give her a call.
Nice.
So yeah, it's actually a really cool story on that. But yeah, that gentleman you're mentioning in the first movie, I think he had it in for her, like he was trying to, hit on her and stuff like that, but I don't think he was very successful. He was a very overzealous guy.
Yeah. Yep.
But he was your classic 1980s yuppie too. he had the yuppie look. Even the phone call, there's a scene where he's like trying to team up with the terrorists, and he does a phone call with John McClane, Bruce Willis, and he's like, look, if you don't act now, if you don't surrender now, they're going to blow me in the head. And he does this smile as he's looking at the terrorists. He goes,
right.
So it's hilarious.
What do you think about basically just the action in this movie in general? It was like,
oh, the action's great.
I thought it was awesome. Like, obviously, okay, you got it's one of those movies where people are like, oh, it's like a meathead movie or something like that, where it's action. Everyone's about action, whatever. But for us, as a kid growing up, and you see movies like this, man, they're fun. Of course, they get killed. It's fun. It's all the explosions and everything. I mean, how memorable is the scene at the end where he's tied off with the hose, the fire hose, and jumps off the building? I mean,
that's amazing. No,
right.
All the action scenes are great in the first Diehard. I mean, the shootouts, even the scene where I think Bruce Willis gets off an elevator or he walks through a door and there's a bunch of terrorists lined up, and he just books it with the machine gun, and But besides the action, which I think is really awesome about Die Hard, which actually makes it one of the best action movies ever made,
right,
is the fact that he's not just trying to survive, his wife is in danger with the terrorists, so he's got something personal to say.
And all the other hostages that are there.
Yeah. But but it's just the fact that his wife is in the mix of the hostages makes it so much more personal.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the character so much more interesting. If it's just him in a battle and he's trying to survive, it's like kind of like say like Arnold Schwarzenegger battling the Predator.
Yeah.
It's just Arnold, which is Predator is still a cool movie.
Yeah.
But if Arnold died in the jungle, it's like, okay, well, he lost. Where Bruce he's got to defend not just the hostages, but he has to save his wife. If the wife died, say for example, hypothetically, if the wife died, it's almost like he just lost. It's game over for him already.
Yeah.
So he's got much more to fight for.
Right.
And that's what I love about Die Hard.
Yeah, it's that total motivation to save a hot dog, a random hot dog.
There's no reference to hot dogs.
There is no hot dogs in the movie.
Yeah.
I am upset.
That's really weird.
If obviously if nothing happens, you have no motivation to save all the people. Isn't there? There's also doesn't something happen where when they all go to the roof, they're worried. They think that everyone on the roof is a terrorist, but there's people on the roof that go up there and then they like shoot at them because they think these people are terrorists, or is that something else?
I know they go on the roof. I can't really remember if there's mistaken identity for terrorists. I do remember, I think his name is Alan Rickman or Andy. He's forgetting another Boston video. I totally took that up. But the main villain...
You're getting ripped on it.
Yeah.
You're totally getting ripped
Hashtag hate mail. But the actor that plays the main villain is Alan Rickman. And there's a scene... I forget why he did this, but there's a scene where he actually gets away from the goons and from the hostages, and Bruce Willis catches up with him. He puts a gun to his head, and the villain actually pretends like he's one of the hostages.
Yeah.
So there's that scene.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's a scene where he tries to fool Bruce, and then eventually Bruce gets caught in the trap where he actually fights this big German guy.
Oh, I got a machine gun. Look at this now.
There you go.
It's
still in the parking lot.
Yeah, you have to, if you look on top here, there's a counter up top here with the guys, and I have to kill those terrorists or whatever. So there's like 4 guys left. These are good guys. I just shot a bunch of good guys.
Oh man, John, what are you doing?
I know, right?
But here's what's kind of baffling to me is the fact that I don't think in anywhere in the first movie John did battle in the parking lot in the first layer of the movie.
Once again.
That's really interesting. Who designed this game? I mean,
someone who never saw the movie.
Obviously.
Well, it's like a whole, like, you start at the bottom and you work your way up, you know, like, so if I get to the point here where we actually proceed, there's a, you know, we've got the hostages escaping right now.
Yeah.
But we will actually go up floors as we go forward, so.
I think the only thing I can really think of, really, that the only person that's actually in that first layer, there's 2 people. I would say is the limo driver. He spends like 90% of the movie in the limo, in the parking lot, right, or the parking structure.
Yeah.
And all the other individuals are some of the terrorists that are just driving in. I think there's a tank, and I think Hans Gruber's computer geek guy.
Yep, they're hacking that vault.
They're hacking, and they're also driving the tank in. I think that's it. I think that's the only thing that takes place in the parking lot.
Now here's interesting. Remember where they have the bombs in the building?
Yeah.
They're referencing the bombs in the building, like in the elevator. So he's got to get to the elevator. You know, I'm completing the level now, but he's gets. So remember, he has the triggers, right?
Yeah.
Or the is that where they were? The fuses or whatever.
Fuses or detonators.
The detonators, yeah, correct. So now here's the scene where it's showing like you're actually going to go up floors. So I just went up to like the 2nd floor. And in this game, if I remember correctly, you go up a few floors and then all of a sudden it skips and it goes like real high up as you do things. So your job is to kill the bad guys, obviously, and then you release any of the terrorists that are tied up if you find them anywhere. It sucks with the PlayStation 1, their graphics, they don't allow a lot of depth, so you can't see far away.
Yeah.
Notice that black horizon there.
One thing I noticed too about the game plan is and how pixely it is.
Yeah.
You know, I remember way back when I was in high school, we used to play PlayStation, and a buddy of mine in high school had I was about to say PS4, but the N64.
Yep.
And I remember the graphics on the N64 were more clear than the PlayStation.
You know, they're pretty darn close to the same thing. If I remember when it was the whole thing between the fight with PlayStation and N64 was the Nintendo 64 was a 64-bit processor or whatever, and PlayStation was a 32-bit processor, but it had 2 of them. So it had like 2 32-bit processing units working at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of like whatever. The thing that I hated about the PlayStation, as much as I love the games and what they did and everything, was load time. Everything with load time was ridiculous.
But that's what you had with the CDs or whatever they consider them.
Right.
You know, where Nintendo, that's where they had it beat. There was no load time. It was a cartridge they just stick in.
Yep.
But eventually Nintendo sort of came, and now they have CDs.
Yep, but they're behind. Everything that they've done now, they're behind on everything.
I don't think Nintendo really cares though, because they made so
no,
much
they
money
have they have all the fanboys or whatever. Well, yeah, the Wii U now is out, but the sales are like really bad. But you know, as more of like the big games that everybody wants, the Zelda, the Mario, all that stuff, as they come out, like even I don't have a Wii U, But if Zelda comes out, I'm probably buying a Wii U just for one game, at least for that.
Okay.
Because like, if you've seen any of the shots from Zelda, they're amazing, and they're redoing like the whole world. It's going to be a huge adventure.
So is that Nintendo's strategy, like sales strategy, is pretty much wait?
Well, they've built such a hardcore group of fans. You know what I mean? Like, they make mistakes. You know, they make mistakes on like YouTube stuff or whatever, where they anything that content people load up just from like Nintendo characters and stuff like that, they will claim on.
Okay.
Like, even, you know, because they feel that like people are making money off of their stuff. You know, all sorts of stuff like that. So it's kind of weird. Like, Nintendo's a big monster, but like that's a huge company that can pretty much feel like they do whatever they want, and then at the same time, you know, some people, you know, feel like they're making like mistakes on certain things that they're doing. When the Wii U came out, I wasn't interested. First of all, you called it something that like doesn't really seem like it surpasses its previous predecessor, like the Wii and then the Wii U. Well, I already have a Wii. Hey guys, Jason here. Just doing some late night editing and wanted to get you ready for part 2 coming up very soon. Thank you again for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you want to see more, we definitely want to hear your support. So please get to us with any kind of information, anything, interact. We'd love to hear it. Hopefully I can get Diehard on some more, as well as some many other guests. So thank you again, and please feel free to hit us up anytime.